There is so much to talk about. Anthony Tall is still with us, and joining us is Los Angeles-based defense attorney, legal analyst Dana Cole. Dana, great to see you again. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Right.
Nice to see you, Dan.
Anthony, let me just get one more question to you about the specifics of a contract like this. This guy had a $10 million $100 million contract over 10 years, and it was supposed to go through 2028. He stepped down, but what happens now contractually?
Well, that's a great point. I imagine there'll be some type of arbitration, but this was guaranteed money. So the issue now becomes whether or not he was forced to resign or resign, because I'm sure in that contract it says that he is to fulfill all duties. However, if they were to fire him, his money would be guaranteed. So I think there'll be some type of arbitration. They'll meet halfway. He'll get half of it. But this was a huge contract for Jon Gruden, which I assume had a lot to do with why he didn't resign after Friday evening, along with the other reasons.
I'll bet. Dana Cole, when they're doing an internal investigation like this, right? It's a lawyer, Beth Wilkinson, very prominent lawyer, who's leading this investigation of the Washington team. What happens to the emails? I mean, this isn't like a formal thing where they have to turn it over or they have to do something specific with it. Who has access to these kinds of emails in this kind of internal investigation?
Well, in any high-profile investigation, things are always subject to leaks. You know, if we've learned anything from Washington politics, we know that things leak out. And in this type of case, you know, this is high-profile. He's a head coach. And, you know, this is very sensitive and, you know, shocking types of communications and a real Neanderthal type of mindset that's being expressed here. And so whoever sort of, whether it's office staff or whether it's attorneys, you never know. But someone gets their hands on it and they let it go. And why shouldn't they?
But Dana, if you're the lawyer who's leading this investigation and you now read about emails that have been leaked in a clear effort to punish this guy, do you get angry as the lawyer who's leading the investigation? And do you say to people, this is not what I signed up for?
Not really. I mean, it's all part of the territory if you want to know the truth. When you're, you know, operating in the big leagues, things like this happen and you have to adjust. You know, stuff gets out eventually anyway. So, you know, this may have been a premature release, I agree, but still, ultimately, this stuff is destined to get out.
But here's the problem. But Dana, here's the problem. What makes this different? They're not issuing a report here, right? I mean, that's the amazing thing, is that you would think with this kind of investigation where the guy's losing his job, right, that at the least we would have a report that would say, okay, here's the conclusions we've reached. They're not even issuing a report.
Okay, but let's analyze this for a second. Let's say it remained highly confidential, but he still loses his job. Aren't reporters like yourself going to then ask why, and then people are going to dig and dig, and ultimately it's going to come out anyway. That's just the nature of the business. That's what happens.
But that's not the questions people are asking now. And I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that I'm focusing on two broad issues. One is whether the punishments fit the crime broadly in the NFL, meaning is there a level of consistency amongst the punishments? And issue two is about personal emails being used and, as Florio pointed out, weaponized. There is something about that rubs me the wrong way, and no one is talking about that. That they're just sort of, oh yeah, well, it's as if he held a press conference and made these sort of racist and homophobic comments, and people said, well, of course he's got to be fired. These were private emails. I'm not saying, therefore, it changes what they have to do. I get it. It means that we now know his mindset and he's gone. But can't we at least be troubled by this, Dana?
We can, and cancel culture bothers a lot of people. But frankly, you have to get with the times. It started with gay marriage. It went to Me Too. And now it's Black Lives Matter. The world is changing. People have to get with the program. And if they don't, it's goodbye. Well, that's just the way it works.
Well,
But Anthony, final point on this. Remember, these are from 2011 to 2018. I'm not suggesting that, therefore, it was okay in 2015. But go ahead, Anthony. Final word on this.
Well, I just want to say to Dana, I mean, you got to remember that it is important here because we've seen the same thing in a not so direct way happen to Donald Sterling, where he's having a private conversation at home with his girl and a girlfriend, and under California law, that recording is illegal. And he had to sell
and
his
Rachel
team.
Nichols.
Yeah,
What about Rachel Nichols?
And Rachel Nichols as well.
I mean,
he had to sell his team, and Rachel Nichols ended up resigning. So we're not concerned. I mean, these issues that Dan are raising, we haven't had any. I didn't hear any of those discussions on ESPN this morning.
Thank you. That is why I'm trying to do a show that is different, where we talk about things other people aren't talking about.
Absolutely.
Dana, Anthony, thank you both so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it.